Good. Oh, you guys are good. Actually, I'm doing the math. We're good. Yeah, these are good. We're good. Yeah, you guys are good. I'm done it.
Like we're watching. What happens It's funny, most of the stuff that happens in Michigan and the drops there. Detroit, they're the ones who are causing most of the drops in Michigan. Up northern side of Michigan, share side of it's pretty I'm sorry.
So much data, just everything changes. I can't eat. I have a nice Mexican life like goodness. Where are the kids?
They're all in Colorado Springs, Colorado. One in North Carolina, one in South Carolina.
I've got a lot of great kids. You're too lucky. No doubt. That's awesome.
We thought we'd get them all together. We're not going to get a nice place. I don't think they're going my mom's take care of me.
With pleasure, why we share.
Sorry, when you get the other
I know.
If you didn't like your stuff, yeah,
I understand. I just know how much you get. Just turns around.
A lot of people left. Because it's
That's what I said. You can, I don't mind.
Probably not. I have been invited to some about jackets from this round. I don't know what she's doing. She wants to go to so I'm sure she'll shop it somewhere in this.
I love that. Cheers Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Good evening. I'm Pastor Bill. We would like to welcome you tonight to the celebration of Dr. Kim Brady's life. We're here to celebrate his life by reflecting on the greatest gift that anyone leaves their family and friends, and that is memories. Nothing more beautiful than memories, and we have several people who are going to be sharing with us tonight as we do that. So first of all, I want to introduce Mark. Mark is going to come and share something with us, and then the United States Army is going to pay tribute to Dr. Brady. So, Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Meese. I'm Kim's son-in-law, and this is Jason Williams. This is Whitney's brother, and our newest member of our family, Marcus Brady, Sydney's husband. At this point, with this amazing turnout, I think it's pretty obvious that Kim Brady was a lot of things to a lot of people. So thank you everyone for coming. To myself, he is not only a dear friend and my father-in-law, but he is also a fellow veteran and a patriot. Kim embodies every value a soldier is taught from day one at the academy: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. It showed in his everyday life and was the foundation for him to become such a great doctor, father, husband, and friend. I'd now like to read a poem titled A Hero's Welcome. Time to come home, dear brother. Your tour of duty through, you've given as much as anyone could be expected to do. Just a few steps further, the smoke will start to clear. Others here will guide you. You have no need of fear. You have not failed your brothers. You clearly gave it all. And through your selfless actions, others will hear the call. So take your place of honor among those who have gone before, and know you will be remembered for now and evermore. Thank you. behalf of the President of the United States Army, and grateful nation. Please accept this flag as a symbol of our appreciation for your love, honorable, and faithful service.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for that respect. I'm going to ask Kelly if she'll come at this moment and begin our process of sharing those memories, and the rest of the kids know what we're doing, so they'll just follow from there. So Kelly, if you'll come.
I'm Kelly White, our dad's oldest child. I wanted to start off by reading a Father's Day card I bought for our dad and was never able to get to him this year. I know he's here listening with me. Dad, I love you on Father's Day and always. This, I love you, is for 1,000 different things. For every word of advice you gave, for the times you stood by silently, for those lessons I needed to learn on my own, and for all the sacrifices you made that I never even knew about. This, I love you, comes straight from my heart because you mean so much to me. Wishing you a very happy Father's Day. Dad, we'll always remember you. No one else will ever replace you. I know you're in heaven, wrapped in Jesus' arms, with your sister and father once again. You have been an amazing husband to Whitney. You're such a giving father, wife, and puppy. You always love surprising us with the best gifts. You're such an incredible hard worker and loved your career. You've made your place of work fun for your coworkers to enjoy. You're always cracking jokes, and when we were kids, some were lame, but somehow I was always the one laughing. Thank you for getting me into soccer and followed through from kindergarten onto my high school years. Thanks for taking me to all the fun tournaments. I loved when you took me. Thank you for taking me and my high school friends on road trip college visits. I loved checking out the 18 colleges and universities you insisted I applied to. Somehow, I managed to pick the very one I never thought I'd go to, but you knew me better than I know myself. When I visited, I fell in love for the very reason Virginia Tech reminded me of West Point. I cherish all my memories made at Virginia Tech, along with the football game weekends you attended. I made the best college friends, whom I'm still very close with today, despite my distance. If it weren't for you, who know where I'd be today? Our kids, Matthew, Lily, Caitlin, and Nathan, will always love their puppy. And thank you for making my life amazing. Thank you for taking my husband, Ryan, and accepting him from day one. I know Ryan admires you and looks up to you. I know I was spoiled and went to great schools because of you, even lived in the most amazing childhood home. We will always cherish and remember our Aruba trip together, along with the many lake trips. Thank you, and I will miss you, Dad, especially your jokes, even if at times they were inappropriate. Thank you all for being here to celebrate our dad's life and carry on his legacy. Impact. This is a word that Whitney, my dad's wife, said that it's been coming to the top of mind the last several weeks when thinking about my dad. Dad, when I think of you in my childhood days, I think of the many times each of us would get trapped in your car going on one errand to Costco. And then 10 errands later, you realize we spent the whole day with you. I never thought I'd say this, but I wish I had one more errand to run with you, Dad. I remember going to work with you on Take Your
child to work day and being excited to get out of school. But after I saw a circumcision in the first hour, I realized I'd rather stay in school. Impact. When I think of you post high school, I'm grateful. If it wasn't for you, I would have never applied to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where I spent 5 amazing years. Yes, 5. Every day I was thankful for the connection I felt there, such a voice that the university gave me as a young woman. And it made me realize that you knew me better than I thought you knew me. Impact. When I think of you post-college, I think of how much closer I felt to you when I was an orthopedic device sales rep in Las Vegas and had the opportunity to be in the operating room. There wasn't a day that went by when I didn't think of you and what your days must have looked like. And it made me even more proud and grateful for the man you were. I'll never forget one day that I was in the operating room hallway with one of our spine surgeons, and I saw his phone kept ringing, and he kept ignoring it. Watching all these surgeons and their crazy on-call schedules and seeing how many times their phones ring and they don't answer. It made me feel so loved that you always answered my calls. And at that moment, I realized that was one of the ways you showed your love to me. And I'm grateful for that. As I think about the woman I am today, standing here, why I embrace change and relocation with excitement, why I love learning from those so different from me, why I work endless hours and put 100% into anything I commit to. I give credit to the experiences I've had moving around the world with you in the military and the impact that is made on my life, and it is profound. As I reflect on the last 10 weeks and the vulnerability that you showed me and the gratitude you showed me every day as I helped care for you, that made me feel closer to you than I ever have been. I will cherish these memories forever. Impact. I thank you for the work values instilled in me today. Being in sales and business, I've learned how numbers can help describe a story. So I'd like to end by sharing some numbers that help describe the lives you've touched. 2 siblings, 5 kids, 12 medical awards and or military awards, 13 maternal fetal medicine partners, 2,700 babies you've delivered, which doesn't take into account all the moms and babies you helped get to a safe delivery and the countless of lives you saved along the way. And 1 million inappropriate jokes. As a wise woman said, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Maya Angelou. And everyone in this room can agree there were numerous moments when you touched people's lives. Impact. Wow. Dad, you died a hero.
Good evening. Thank you for coming. For those that I haven't met, I'm Kyle, Kim's son. So growing up, I didn't always actually feel that close to my dad. Given his job, he was often working late hours and he was a man of few words. But the great memories I do have of my dad centered around sports. Whether it be a Xavier or UC basketball game, and yes, before Whitney, we rooted for both teams. A Reds game or my favorite, a Bengals game. Sports had a way of forming a bond when he couldn't find the words. As I got older and left for college, he went out and bought the best midlife crisis for a college-age son, a Bengals bus. For those that don't know, this was the ultimate tailgating experience. And although I had always been a Bengals fan growing up, my Bengals fandom seemed to grow exponentially with this purchase. But it wasn't actually the bus that made me want to go to games
when I came back to visit or when I moved back to attend UC for law school. It was that connection with my dad. For 4 years, I helped him prep that bus for almost every home game. It was often just me and him on a Saturday afternoon or evening, spending hours cleaning coolers, buying food, checking off lists, packing the bus, or hooking up the grill. My dad couldn't always express how he felt, but when he wanted me there to help, I knew that was his way of showing me his love. About 2 months ago, I told my dad as much. When people ask me why I love a team that disappoints you so much, or ask why I don't find another team, I tell them that I am from Cincinnati and I owe much of my relationship with my dad to the Bengals. If not for that insanely frustrating football team, I don't know if we would have found the connection that we ended up with. When I moved to Northern Virginia, DC area, neither of us liked talking on the phone, but when we did, it always centered around the Bengals or something sports related. I will always cherish the memories I had with him, attending all the different games, attending the 2011 NFL draft where he got to announce the Bengals' 4th round draft pick. Kala, my wife, meeting my dad for the first time at a Bengals game where she proceeded to get drunk, but to be fair, we all were, and cry because her team, the Patriots from Boston, lost to the Bills. He was so proud I had found someone who was as crazy about sports as I am. And the fact that the first thing I taught both my sons was, what does a Bengal tiger say? With them responding with, grrr. I will always be that crazy Bengals fan, just like him. I know many of you knew him as an amazing doctor, a caring friend, a man always ready with either a very inappropriate joke or a very dad joke, or a man that just left an impact in his own way. He was all of those things. But I knew him best as the dad that I would call to talk about the Bengals or whatever sports moment he knew I'd be thrilled about. We were so sports-centric that I found out a few days ago that my ringtone on my dad's phone whenever I called him was the ESPN Monday Night Football theme song. I may not have started out with the best relationship with my dad as a kid, but it grew into a great one. I will miss him more than I can say. But every time the Bengals play, I will think of him. And if they ever manage to actually win a Super Bowl or at least a playoff game, I'll know he had something to do with it. And if they don't, well, then I'll ask my dad what the hell he's doing up there and get on that ASAP. I love you, Dad, and you will always be in my thoughts and in my heart. So I will end, and anybody that's Bengals fan, please join me with one last screw day for my dad. Hooray!
I'd like to introduce Whitney's daughters, our sisters, Jordan and Sydney now. There's a lot of you. I apologize in advance. I do not know how to be brief. Can I sit down to write this? For one of the first times in my life, I've been rendered speechless. Strong start. It's difficult to put into words what Kim meant to me. The essence of a person. How do you boil down in a few sentences a lifetime of memories? He was the calm in my chaos. He was my random phone call with a car or tax question. My own personal doctor, my advice giver, my tailgating buddy. He introduced me to Jamocha shakes, tailgated in sub-zero temperatures with me at 9 a.m., helped get me into my dream school, celebrated my engagement at a Cyclones game, helped me carry a healthy baby boy to term. He led by example every day to show me what it means to live the golden rule. I've been trying to sum Kim up in one word, an insurmountable task for someone whose infinite impact truly cannot be measured. But I believe Kim's legacy will always be one of loyalty. Loyalty is defined as giving firm and constant support. He was a fierce friend, always willing to lend a hand or a listening ear, and his easygoing personality made you believe he just might be his best friend. He was a devoted husband. I've never seen anyone love more completely or selflessly than the way he loved my mom. Kim, as most of you know, was loyal to his sports teams, and unfortunately may have been the last Bengals fan. Just kidding, Kyle. And we will always do day in his name. Kim served his country. He still cried every single time he heard the national anthem or saw a flag waving on a beautiful day. Kim was a loyal father. He worked hard every single day to pave the way for an easier future for us kids. And he deserved a lush and long retirement. Kim is the embodiment of humble hustle. Never asking for thanks or praise, Kim stood by the side of terrified mothers and fathers as they struggled to bring life into this world. He brought hope to those beaten down by years of trying to conceive and provided a light on the dark, scary path for so many families. He was an usher of life. He brought life into this world. He gave life to me. He gave life to my mom. What I would give for one more trip to Lowe's, one more shout of turn the light off in the basement, one more tailgate, one more boat ride on the lake, one more drink at Woody's before a UC game, and one more I love you. The only way I can make sense of this is that God must have needed a new right-hand man up there, because he handpicked the best. I have a vision of heaven where Kim is being greeted by all the babies that have gone before him. Though there were not many, every single one wanted him. His sister Colleen hands him a bourbon, and his dad hands him a cigar. They tell him finally, this hard-working, loyal, and faithful man, that it's time to rest easy. He may not have gotten his retirement here, but he's getting one hell of a party up there.
Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am the youngest daughter of Kim and Whitney. I thought that I would not be able to write this when they asked me to speak today, just because, like Jordan said, how do you summarize the most incredible man we've ever met and known? But instead, I woke up this morning with a smile on my face because I can't help but feel so immensely proud and honored to stand before you guys to speak about this incredible man. I could stand up here and tell you about all the amazing attributes of Kim, but I don't have to because I'm confident and I know that every single person in this room knows and has been impacted by him. And to me, that was the most single most beautiful thing about him. He never asked or sought recognition. He was a silent server. He always sought out how to be of service to others, even in the small ways. I can count numerous times that Kim showed up for me through acts of service throughout my life. There was never a time I went without a gallon box of flavored plastic goldfish, and even when I thought we ran out, there would be 5 more boxes on it. When I started driving, of which he taught me how to do, I never went without gas or an oil change. In 5th grade, I mentioned to Kim that I may be interested in trying out for the girls' basketball team. That weekend, I had a state-of-the-art basketball hoop in my backyard. When I went to college with 4 girls, they were so thankful for Kim because we never ran out of toilet paper or paper towels. Kim didn't have to tell me how much he loved me. He showed me. He was a doer. Even at a young age, I was able to recognize how amazing it was that Kim accepted me and welcomed me into his life as one of his own. I immediately grew to like him. How can I not? He loved my mom so immensely, and that was the most important thing to me. Kim was there for a lot of firsts in my life. He was always the first person I called when I was in trouble. Could not call mom. Like the time I hit a pedestrian with a car. I thought it was a mailbox. I thought to myself, this is it. I'm going to jail for the rest of my life. I'll see you guys later. I was so panicked. I called him a blubbering mess and told him what happened. His response, calmly, he said, "Well, is the person alive?" He moved me into my college dorm, handed me a wad of cash, and said, "Don't do anything I wouldn't do." He took me to buy my first car, of which no one, thank you siblings, warned me not to go car shopping with him. 10 hours later, 10 hours later, I had the keys of a car I could definitely not afford as a college graduate. One summer, I decided to move away from home to St. Louis. When I got back, I convinced Kim, and we both convinced Mom to get me a puppy. They ended up raising it. Kim showed me the definition of unconditional love. Without judgment, he loved me fiercely and taught me so much about how to navigate life. I would not be the woman I am today without his wisdom and love. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my beautiful mom and the siblings that are surrounding me today. Because over the past 2 months, I have witnessed firsthand the definition of unconditional love, giving tirelessly to help Kim fight his fight. I've never been prouder to be his daughter and to be their sister. I know Kim is beaming today at the strength and bond of our family. I know I sure am. Kim may have left us here on earth, but he will forever live in each of our hearts, in every boat ride at Cumberland, and every sunset in Aruba. And while today I've given you some small examples of how Kim has impacted my life, I know that there are people in this room who have been impacted significantly by his knowledge or even existing in this room today because of him. So I ask you all in this room today, whether impacted by Kim in a big or small way, that instead of grieving the loss of this incredible man, that we honor him by acts of service, that we live a little bit more like Kim did, serving selflessly and loving unconditionally. Hooray.
What more can be said, correct? The children come up and pay such a tribute to a wonderful man. That says it all. It makes all of us give thoughts in our own minds and our own hearts. What will our family be saying about us when our time is gone? I think of that all the time. Thank you, kids, for what a beautiful tribute you've given to Kim. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we come to you today and we thank you for this incredible life, a life that was lived in such a powerful way, not only bringing in life, which I think is so beautiful, when you take your creation and use man to help you to bring that creation alive. But Father, not only that, but to be able to live through the lives of these, his children, and his family, his wife, his grandchildren. Father, there's no greater tribute to any person than when your family speaks to you about you. We thank you for what the kids have said today. And we pray, Father, that it has impacted every single one of us. God, that every one of us will walk out of here today much different than that which we walked in. And as was said, may we show our love for him by living that same kind of life. I pray right now, God, that you give the family strength. How very, very hard it is. Something we don't understand and questions we will never get answered. But I'm reminded, Father, what David wrote in the beautiful psalm that we so beautifully quote, Psalm 23. And David said, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil. Father, the word that we grasp onto is though I walk through it. Help them to get through it. Help them to get to the other side. And we know without a doubt, no other way can we do it without your strength. And we promise that we'll give you the praise, the honor, and the glory. For it's in Jesus' name we ask it. Amen. On behalf of the family, we would like to thank you so very much for coming here tonight and celebrating Tim's life. Thank you for your hugs, your comments, your smiles that you've said. I know the family appreciated it very much. I want to thank the family for the honor you've given me to be able to stand here today and see this beautiful tribute to that. If you would just remain seated for just a moment, Miss Julie is going to come and give us our instructions for dismissal. Again, thank you for being here tonight and celebrating Dr. Brady's life. Julie?
This does conclude the services here this evening for Kim. We will not have any type of formal dismissal, so once I'm finished, everyone is dismissed to their vehicles. Those of you that have been, are going to be included in the invitation-only event following this, you are welcome to keep your cars parked in the funeral home parking lot this evening. So again, everyone is dismissed. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Makes you want to be closer.
What?